So here's the big question. How are entrepreneurs like us, who have been hustling and struggling to make it to success, who seem to make it one step forward only to fall two steps back, who are dedicated, determined, and driven, how do we finally break through and win? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Kelly, and this is the Mind, Body, Business Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Business Show. Oh my goodness, I have reached a level of excitement that has exceeded probably every previous show I've done. And why is that? It is because of a phenomenal guest who's coming on. He's in the wings waiting like a caged lion. He wants out. He wants to come on screen and share his brilliance, and I can't wait to bring him out here to share it with you. His brilliance is amazing. Alok Appadurai is here with us, and I cannot wait for you to meet this amazing, high-energy, fun gentleman who's also, most importantly for this show, very successful. And that is the purpose of this show. The Mind, Body, Business Show is a show that I had created with the mission, the purpose, to bring to you successful entrepreneurs so that when you watch and when you listen to this show, all you need to do is take very copious notes. And then when the show is over is to act on those notes, take action, learn, do, take them and put them into action and ultimately teach them. That's the best way to learn anything, is to teach it, but do the learn and then do the do. I love it. Sometimes I come up with some weird sayings just off the cuff. This gentleman, I kid you not, I cannot wait to share some statistics he just shared with me, and I'm going to have him do that for you. That it shows that he has found what I like to call the secret sauce, and it's right in alignment with the way I love to operate. And you're going to love this. You do not want to miss this gentleman. So stick with us. He'll come on here in about 5 more minutes. So stick with us. Mind, Body, Business Show. It is all about the 3 pillars of success. I studied only successful people for a period of about a decade or so. And what I found, and these are from people that were my mentors that I knew personally, others that were authors of books, others that were authors that may not even be with us anymore, have passed on. Highly successful people that are out there right now that I don't know personally, but I would study their background, their accolades, read their books. And what I found were these three pillars kept bubbling to the top of each one. Mind is that every single successful person that I studied had this quality. They had the quality of a powerful, positive, and most importantly, flexible mindset. And then body. They literally, to a person, took care of themselves, both physically and nutritionally. So they exercised on a regular basis, and they ate and drank those things that would serve them the best, so that the mind and body, as you know, they are a team. More importantly, the mind and body are your team. And any member of the team is not pulling their weight, the team as a whole will fall down and crumble. So you want to keep the team going. And then business. Business is so multifaceted and it's so wonderful. In order to create and maintain and build and scale a successful business, one must master different skill sets. Skill sets like marketing, sales, team building, systematizing, leadership. I mean, I could go on for quite some time. And you get it. You're astute. To master anything takes some time, kind of like being an expert takes on average 10,000 hours of concentrated effort in that one area. The good news is you, nor anybody that runs a successful business, has to master every single skill set themselves. And that's a hint. You only really need to concentrate and focus mostly on one skill set. And that's one skill set I mentioned just a moment ago. So if anybody wants to know what that is, go ahead and type it in. I'll wait. I'm kidding. I'm going to tell you right now. It is the skill set of, are you ready? Drum roll. I need that soundbite. It's a skill set of leadership. Yes, leadership. When you have mastered the skill set of leadership, even if you're a solopreneur, this is something you want to work on right away, leading yourself. Then when you bring on a team member, lead them. Master that skill set. Now you can bring in those individuals who have already mastered the skill sets you have yet to master or may never master, because let's face it, there's a lot of time that would be involved to master them all. That's it. Leadership. I just gave you the shortcut to success. Our show is over. Thank you for coming on. I am so kidding. I cannot wait to bring on Alok. He is an amazing guy. And real quick, another wonderful attribute of highly successful individuals is that to a person, they are also very avid readers of books. And so with that, I want to segue very quickly and very briefly into a short segment I like to call Bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by ReachYourPeakLibrary.com.
There you see it, ReachYourPeakLibrary.com. And here is a word of advice before we go one step further. I know Alok will totally appreciate this one from speaking on stage just recently as he had. And that is, when you're given resources like you're going to see here and here, you're going to see here and here, get it? And when you see and hear these resources mentioned, I know Alok will have many to give you. Instead of succumbing to that itch, so to speak, to run off and click on another tab and go research it while this show is going, I implore of you to instead write it down and keep your attention on Alok, because you do not want to miss one golden nugget. It could be that one moment that you take your attention away for that brief shred of a moment, and he will have said something that could have changed your life forever. And this is what happens from stage. You're getting to the part you know is the juicy part as the speaker, and you see someone get up because they got to go to the bathroom, or they get up because they had that all-important phone call that they had to take from a client or someone that wasn't an emergency. Stick with us, pay attention, do not miss anything Alok has to say. That's my soapbox moment. ReachYourPeakLibrary.com, as you write that down, ReachYourPeakLibrary.com, resource number 1, is a website that I had developed with you in mind. Why? Because reading books is incredibly important in your growth as a business person and business owner. Incredibly important. I didn't know this until around the age of 47, which was about 10 years ago. I did not read anything that was business related or development related until that age. So 10 years. And once I learned and realized, oh my gosh, this is life changing, I said, I'm going to start cataloging every book that had a profound impact on me, either personally or professionally or both. And this is the collection. It is vetted by me personally so that you can have a higher degree of certainty that it won't be a waste of your time, because at least one other successful entrepreneur vetted this list. And not every book I've ever read is on this list. They had to meet certain criteria, like basically change my life for the better in some way. And everyone on it, there is no rhyme or reason to the alphabetization of how they're in here or order. Oh, you'll see a lot of Grant Cardone books all clumped together, but then it's all over the place. Pick the first book you like, and you don't have to get it from this website. This isn't for making money. This is for you to get the resources you need to advance your life to a level that makes you incredibly happy, and that you can serve the community, serve others, and crush it in life for everyone. Sound good? That is ReachYourPeakLibrary.com. Speaking of crushing it in life and everywhere else, it is my very, very exciting moment that I get to introduce you to our special guest expert. So let's bring him on, shall we? Get ready.
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. It is the one. It is the only. Alok Appadurai.
Appadurai. Yeah,
Appadurai.
you got it.
I practiced that too.
So good to be here. Thanks so much, Brian.
Oh man, I love your energy already, and I loved it when you came on. So for anyone watching and curious, we were talking for about a half hour leading up to the show. Never met him before. This is exactly how he shows up all the time. So I want you to know that what you're going to see on this show is the true Alok. This is him, and I love it. Yeah, he's fun-loving. Look at him. He loves to have fun. He's laughing a lot. The thing is, though, he's also a very astute and successful entrepreneur. In just a moment, I'm going to give you a formal introduction that you richly deserve, Alok. Right before we do that, if it's okay with you, a little bit of housekeeping. No cleaning. I don't want to clean. That's no fun. Housekeeping's better. I don't know how it's different, to be honest. So we have several sponsors on this show, and you see one of them right over Alok's left shoulder. It's on the right side of the screen. It's the Big Insider Secrets. Wow, you were quick in getting that correct there, Alok. He's pointing in the right direction. That's hard to do on camera. The BigInsiderSecrets.com. Yeah, it's my good friend Jason Nast who runs that company. They are giving us the ability. This is great. You'll want to stay on to the end because of this one thing, if nothing else, and that is everyone who stays on to the end will have the opportunity to win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort from many locations all over the world. Again, compliments of the Big Insider Secrets. So stick around. I want you to be that winner. And then we got a couple more, and we're going to get right on to it with Alok. This is going to be fun. So if you're struggling, if you're putting a show together and you're just getting overwhelmed with all the tech and all of the work, people don't recognize or realize just how much effort goes into producing a high quality live television show or live podcast. And it can be quite arduous. And I know this as a matter of fact from doing this for now over 10 years. I used to do everything manually. I said enough is enough and began automating a lot of the processes. If you are looking for help in the tech and you want to create a high quality, professional, top shelf live video show, then go ahead and visit carpetbombmarketing.com, where it is Carpet Bomb Marketing. Saturate the marketplace with your message. And then folks that go through the Carpet Bomb Marketing system will absolutely master the very resource we are using to bring this show to you right here, right now. And it is called StreamYard. And you see a URL on there, and being astute, you know what to do. No, not type it in and go look at it. It's only write it down on your notes. ryp.im/StreamLive all together. I've used so many of these quote unquote studio software solutions over the years, many. And I'm here to tell you that StreamYard is the absolute best of the best. When you consider everything put together, they have figured it out, and they've done it. They've built something specifically for live video shows. So no more Zoom. Get rid of Zoom. Go to StreamYard for your live video. Zoom is great for meetings, but you want StreamYard. ryp.im/StreamLive. Let's bring this handsome feller back up. And I'm not talking about me. Oh, God, no. Alok. Here we go. Are you ready? Let's give Alok the introduction he so richly deserves. Oh, yes. Alok Appadurai, I got it, is founder and CEO of Uplift Millions LLC. It's a global coaching and consulting company for impact-led entrepreneurs and leaders who are growing 6 to 8 figure companies that value people, planet, and profit. So many aren't valuing even the first part of it these days. I love reading that. Alok is the Wall Street Journal bestselling author of Maximum Impact Potential, based on his over 20 years of experience as a social impact entrepreneur. He is also a TEDx speaker on feeding 500,000 meals to people in need. I mean, can you not love this guy? How could you not love this guy? That's what I should say. He won a STEVIE Award for the best entrepreneur, was selected for the new reality show 4 Days to Save the World, good grief, and is a proud father to Sequoia and partner to Caitlin. Oh, everything's in there. Family man, successful man, heart-centered man. Ladies and gentlemen, Alok Appadurai.
I'm like, wow, that guy sounds pretty amazing, man. I hope I live up to the bill.
Oh man, I mean, I absolutely had no idea what to expect. Most of the time, the guests that come on, I don't meet them literally till half an hour before the show, just like you and I. Yeah. And it's always a pleasant surprise every single time. Yours was a notch higher than most because of your energy, your joyfulness, your vibrancy, your love for life. It's obvious in all cases. So I can see why you have become so successful. A lot of that comes from your mindset, and that's what drives you. You have a choice to be happy, or you have a choice to be doldrum in the mud. And yeah, we are human, and we get those points, right? That we all get to those points. We get upset, we get pissed off, we get angry. The choice is, how long do we want to stay in that state? And then, which one is more serving to our bottom line in our life, not just in our pocket. So what I wanted to ask you to kick this thing off, Alok, is I am a firm believer that what is going on between our two ears is the foundation, the baseline for either our level of success or lack thereof. That it's all because, and starts with and finishes with, what's going on up here. So I'm really curious with you, when you get up in the morning, you know how it's super easy being an entrepreneur, that everything just falls into place every day and you never have to worry about issues. I'm being so facetious here. There are many arduous tasks that await you in the morning, as it does every entrepreneur. There are also good ones. There are also issues that need to be remedied. So when you're faced, and then there's that uncertainty about sales for some. Yeah. And I'm sure you went through that in the beginning of your walk in entrepreneurship. We all have, I think, unless someone just was born with a silver spoon. I don't know how that would happen. For you, when you wake up in the morning, what is driving you? The bottom line is, what is really going on in that big, beautiful brain of yours? When you wake up, you know all those things are in front of you, but you have something that is keeping you driven and going, that just going to plow through all that stuff and keep crushing it and serving people? What is that for you?
Yeah, I would say two things. One, I love what you're saying about the noggin being the big driver here. And I want to add one other layer. And this is where, audience, get your pen out and start writing this down. I think there's another frontier that goes beyond the mindset piece, which I think is huge. But I'd really like to also bring in a conversation about what happens from the chin down to the root chakra, which is actually in the emotional body. I think the next frontier for emotions, for entrepreneurs and leaders, is going to be to move a conversation away from just being about this, which is, by the way, a huge progression, right? Because prior to this being the conversation was do, and people could not understand why people were stuck, right? So then it progressed to a conversation about what's going on in the mind. Then it progressed into a conversation of what's going on in the mind and the subconscious. And I want to add one more layer, which is the mind, the subconscious, and the emotional body. And once you start really having a communication and understanding of kind of what's going on down here, right, in the emotions, what we feel, now you can really start changing your life, because you can do all the mindset work, but if you're not actually shifting the emotional body of how you respond emotionally to what's going on in sales, marketing, leadership, team issues, all that, if you're not regulating your nervous system, which, by the way, I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. I'm just saying I'm in the conversation around it, looking to improve it. You're not going to do anything. So for me, my mornings, how I wake up and get into that kind of drive mode is actually a couple of things. One is that I tune into spirit. I actually get quiet. I spend as much time. I wake up before my son and my girlfriend intentionally because I want that quiet time, because that's where I tune into source, whatever you want to call it, source, God, universal wisdom, infinite wisdom, whatever your language for. It doesn't really matter to me, but it's where we open up. And so I don't move into doing out of the gate. I think that's one of the big mistakes is people just like get up and they're like, rise and grind, we got to go at it. I actually think you lose your superpower to some degree when you don't actually get quiet and listen. And when I say listen, I mean, yes, birds, and I sit out on my deck here. I live in the desert in Tucson. One of the places you and I had a really good conversation about, one of the most joyful places to be, Tucson, Arizona, heart of the desert. I actually find it amazingly beautiful, but it took me about 10 years to get there on it. But it's like listen to the birds and the bees and the javelinas and whatever else, but it's really listening to source, right? It's where we connect in, where the things that might otherwise get missed come in. And literally the moments that I have in the morning are sometimes mind blowing, because I'm like, really? Oh my God, it's only 6:15 and you're already dropping that bomb on me? That would be a carpet bomb moment.
You want one of those?
I'll take one. I'll take one.
See if we can get that thing rolling.
There we go.
Yeah.
Get warmed up. We got a couple more flights coming through this one.
There we go. Keep them coming, brother.
So I'd say the other piece is then connecting to my two motivators. Okay. My two motivators in the morning are one, a what I call more near motivator, which is my son and my lady. I'm driven to be a provider in my household. I understand my role, one of my roles in this household. And so I tune in and connect to them as a driver. So the second one is the global. So I tune into my mission, right? What did I come to Earth to do? That might sound a little weird to some of you. I just did this with a client literally right before coming to see Brian. And I literally had him get in his spaceship. I literally said, I need you to be in an alien spaceship looking down on Earth. What did you come here to do? And when you tune in and get connected to actually what you're here for, then you can handle the stresses and the challenges and the hurdles and the obstacles and all that, because you have a connection to what your root DNA, what I call soul mission, was here for. So those are the things that I come back to every morning, and they light me up to handle whatever the sludge and the challenges and the bombs that might come my way, is constantly coming back. Why am I doing this? So those are my gems there.
Yeah, and they are gems. And yeah, I get it's so much on point. Emotions. Nobody does anything without emotion. The action follows the emotion. We're always taught in sales that people buy on emotion. They do. But the translation of that is people make decisions based on emotion. And it's that decision to whether they buy or don't in a business sense, but it's the decision on whether they're going to go about life thinking that everything's against them, or that, hey, everything's available to me. And there's, we all have choices. It's all it comes down to is a choice. And
huge choice. Like, for example, a lot of entrepreneurs, the thing that people don't want to talk about is anxiety, right? Because you don't have a steady paycheck. The pressure is on you to make it rain, right? And so anxiety is a huge issue in the entrepreneur community. Now you can think all the thoughts you want, but if you're not regulating your central nervous system and getting a handle on it for real, that anxiety is still going to grip you up.
Totally. It's like weeds choking out flowers in the garden. That's all. It's just emotions are very important. And when you are able to manage and or control to some extent your own emotions, change that emotional state. There are tools in science, proven science, that can help you with that, called NLP. I use it all the time. It's been a game changer, a life changer. And I don't say that about very many things. And then you said, yes, another mic drop moment. And when you said, what is the purpose? You're in a spaceship. What is the reason? Why are you doing all this? And that's the other one. It's like have a very profound why. And mine is similar in parts. Mine is my wife. She's my why. Without her, I wouldn't have my kids. So I go to the source and just say, you know what? I would crawl over broken glass for miles to keep this thing going, because I want her and I to have that life together we always dreamed of, to always improve, always be happy, and always be joyous. And so, yeah, those things that you just mentioned are core. Woo! And if you don't spend the time, like Alok just so eloquently stated, and set aside the time to put those in your life on a regular basis, if you don't, then how is your life going right now? Would you like to improve it? If you would like to and you aren't going to do anything, it's not going to change. And so why not change? And this thing I love, Alok, many people I bring on here, one of the things their answer often is a routine. That's what you just outlined. Yeah. And I tell the audience every single time, look, if you don't have a routine, all I recommend you do is start with something like what Alok just described. And if whatever isn't working for you, if anything doesn't, modify it to fit your needs.
That's right.
Simple.
Just throw it out. Throw it out.
I've talked to guys that take ice cold showers in the morning. I'm like, hell no, I'm not doing that. No, it's not for me. So do what you like. I like to be comfortable in the morning. I don't want to be shocked. I don't need the paddles. I've had those on me. They didn't feel good after I was done. No, I don't need to be shocked. But yeah, do what works for you. And then, but just keep refining. And is this something you find common with you, Alok? You've got a business, you've got a very thriving, successful business. So once you achieved that level that you were kind of happy with, did you stop building? Did you stop tweaking? Did you stop testing?
No, because so in my philosophy around business, I'm not in business to just get filthy rich just for myself. I'm on a mission to empower 10 million entrepreneurs to be what I call wealth circulators, who are empowered to move flows of money to where more good happens, right? So what I teach people is, look, you got to have, for me, goals aren't just the traditional measuring stick of goals. Okay, which most people are saying, well, I want to grow a 7-figure business or an 8-figure business or a 6-figure business, whatever they're, okay, awesome, great. That's a wealth generator. I'm going to challenge everybody watching right now. If you're an entrepreneur, how can you migrate to what the next identity evolution is, which is wealth circulator? One who is able to someone who move flows of money, not just for the benefit of oneself or even one's family, but how can someone who moves flows of money for the benefit of everybody, or at least who you might care about? Maybe it's your community, right? And so in order to be able to do that, you have to be someone who can, have what I call next level goals. And so for me, those are wealth circulation goals. So I want everybody to hear this. My wealth circulation goals have to do with, I commit. It's not I want, I hope, I will try. I commit in my lifetime to plant 1 billion trees on earth. Why? Because I know they're the lungs of the earth. They clean the not good stuff and they spit out the good stuff. Okay. It ain't rocket science here. What happens when trees get planted? So I'm going to plant 1 billion trees. I'm already on track for that. I'm going to end blindness for 1 million humans. And I'm committing to create 1 billion 0% interest loans for women during my lifetime. I create 0% lending loops. So when you have goals like these, which by the way, my current business doesn't yet generate the revenue for me to do those goals. I've calculated those goals will each cost me $400 million during my lifetime. So no, Brian, sure, the business had 7 figures. We're scaling to 8 figures. We're nowhere near. We are nowhere near done because I'm nowhere near hitting what I've committed to before I'm in the grave. So
I
no,
love it.
We don't stop growing.
Yeah, and I knew the answer before I asked it. I just wanted to hear I want everybody else to hear it, because one of the other things is I love your loftiness of your goals. Your what did you call them?
Well, circulation, our give back goals.
Yeah, next level goals. Yeah,
that's right. That next generation.
And here's the thing: a lot of people might be going, "Geez, Louise, this dude's off his rocker." Well,
totally.
Here's the thing. Yeah. But the thing is, he's got something to aim for, and he knows it's very high, but at least he knows he's aiming for something. So to those that don't have goals or any loftiness to them, if you aim at nothing, you are sure to hit it.
That's correct.
And so why not aim at something that could supply not only yourself, thank you so much. That's very ecological to be there for other people. And oh, it's amazing that you have those lofty goals. I mean, 0% loan, that's like, whoa, awesome. I'm gonna put on a wig and come over to you and say, I want a
that's right. Can I get a hundo, Alok? You know, come cross dress, knock on my door up here in Tucson. Really
I don't think I can pull it off, brother.
you got no goal. I love how you just said that. You know, if you got no goal, you're definitely going to hit that target.
Yeah.
You know, of nothingness. And
dream big. Dream big. And look, y'all, have a little bolt loose crazy. Unscrew it. If your bolts are too tight up there, you know, loosen it up a little bit. You gotta be a little crazy to go down this path. Yeah, and you know what? It's a good crazy. It's not like a you need to be put in an institution crazy of any kind. It's all it is think out of the box. You know, be a little bit different. That's the key, is being different. If you follow everyone else,
I want everyone to hear this. This is not about bragging and all that. I don't care. You know, someone asked me, do you want fame? I said, I don't give a hoot about fame. If I mean me, I would say I don't give a shit about fame. But it's really true. I want everyone to hear this, because for me, fame is not the end destination. It's impact. It's impact. And so if I've said to God, I've said to universe, source, whatever language you all want to use for it, I've said, look, if I have to become famous for the things I just listed, fine, I'll do that. But it is not a driving force for me. And frankly, I actually don't desire it. You lose your anonymity, you lose your privacy. But if I have to do that, so I want y'all to hear, this is not about ego. It's not about, I want the spotlight. No, it's that I have a commitment to humanity. I have a commitment to something bigger than myself.
Gosh, man, you're much younger than me, but somehow I think we were separated at birth. You're my twin. We have twin minds.
Not just the facial hair.
I mean, we got the same gray. I love it, man. Yeah, so very similar, because I remember years ago, I wanted to get a nice car, a sports car. Never owned one in my life. And so I finally ended up getting a Corvette, and I loved it. And it's pretty hot looking, and I did not get it for people to look at me. In fact, as I drove it down the street, I almost slouched in the chair as far as I could so people couldn't see me. It wasn't for people to say, ooh, look at that guy. It was for me to say, I finally met that goal and I achieved it. And now it's like a trophy I get to drive on for myself and no one else. And I literally did not want people looking at me. I'd come up to a stop sign and I'll see them in the corner of my eye, and they're rolling down their window and they're shaking stuff at me. And I finally was like, all right. And I lower the window and goes, nice car, man. Thank you. Politely, I say thank you, but dang it, I don't want that. So anyway, I can totally relate with what you're saying.
Yeah.
And yeah, I still want things like that. Like I want a massive house on the beach. That would be awesome. We're actually moving to Florida here pretty soon, we hope. Lots of fun stuff happening. And I'm in California near the beach. I'm not going to go down that path. So let's get back to the good stuff. So one of the things I love talking about, especially with successful entrepreneurs like you, Alok, is this whole concept surrounding how we get business, how we get eyeballs to our business. It's this concept known as marketing in everyday terms. And what I love about it is it's always ebbing and flowing. And what I mean by that is what used to work 10 years ago doesn't necessarily work today. And what is working today may not necessarily work 10 years in the future. For you, if you were to pinpoint one strategy you are currently using in marketing that is working it and is crushing for you, what is that for you right now?
Is so simple, because it actually falls in the category, people ask me all the time, Alok, now that your business, crossed that kind of like, the holy grail, right? Only 6% of entrepreneurs will build a 7-figure company, and you hit that. It's this kind of big moment. And people ask me, well, what are you doing? What are you doing differently now as you head from 7 to 8 figures? And you know what my answer is?
Nothing
Different. Sure. I mean, I'm being a little facetious here. Like, we might start dumping on some, paid ads and all that stuff to start throwing some, fuel on the fire. But, I told you that we had this big event and we did 1.4 million bucks in sales. We deleted most of the junk that you're supposed to do in all those rah events. I deleted all of it. I made it like an absolutely intense, nonstop experience. We still closed 1.4 million bucks in sales. And I did it exactly the way I got to 7 figures. I'm not stopping the stuff that got me to where I am. Everybody, please write that down. What got you to where you are? Keep doing it. And I'm going to tell you, I'll answer exactly Brian's question. I value sacred human connection.
Ah, yes.
Write those 3 words down, everybody. You want amazing things to happen in your life? You don't need a big, thick book, okay? Write down sacred human connection. And I want to really define for everybody what that means for me. Because everybody thinks, well, is he talking about prospecting? Okay, no, I'm talking about building a sacred human connection with another human where you don't actually know the magic that might unfold. Maybe, yes, they might come up with millions and join our 30K year-long program or whatever, okay? But guess what? I'm open to maybe I might become their client. I'm open that we might be a joint venture partner. I'm open that we might be podcast swapping. I don't even have podcasts yet. All right. I don't know what might emerge. Y'all, you ramp up sacred human connection out of this show. Literally commit right after the show is done. Do whatever it is that Brian tells you you're supposed to go do. Okay, cool. Get you, apply for the 5-day vacation. That sounds amazing. By the way, I'm going to say the whole way myself so I can put my name in the ring for that 5-day vacation by, the Big Secret Insider. Okay. So Big Insider Secrets. I think I read that wrong, right? Like all the things, sacred human connection. You ramp that up, amazing things will start happening in your life.
This is the biggest bomb run of the entire show, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, here we go.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Smart bombs of knowledge, bombs of wisdom. Oh, I've had this discussion in each of the last 3 days with all these meetings I'm having with people on Zoom. Same exact thing, my brother. Is like I say, my show is not my business. I'm here to build relationships. And again, I'm not looking at that person as a source of money for me. I'm looking at solely to build a relationship because I now know, being 57 years old and going through this a little bit, that stuff happens organically after you get to know them. People buy people. They don't buy stuff. They buy the relationship. And I love this. I've never gotten a mic drop on the other end. This is awesome.
Yeah. Listen to what he's saying to you. If you're not paying attention, you're an idiot right now. Listen to what he just said.
Just think about it. I mean, you don't have to be that sleazy snake oil salesman. Okay, that's going back to the Wild West. Car salesman, used car salesman. You don't have to say, come to my website and buy my crap. Ever. So here's what happens. You build a relationship. If there is a pain point you solve of theirs, it will come out in natural conversation. They will now at that point go, I know you, I like you, and I trust you. My hesitation and resistance level are 0. Let's do something. On the other side, just like you said, Alok, I can't tell you how many of the folks that I've made relationships with, like on this show, of those people, I became their client, many of them. I don't look at it as a one-way transaction. It's like, how can we help each other? Maybe not at all. And that's okay too. Every single person I have on this show becomes my lifelong friend. It's freaking awesome.
Let me give you guys an example of this. Okay. Brian did me the solid. He said, hey, so-and-so said that you might be a good guest. Can you be on my show? I said, sure. Okay. Lots of people ask me to be on their shows. Okay. I'm on lots of shows. I do lots of these things. Brian, he's like, number one, this show's not about me. It's about you. I'm going to make this all about you. I want you all to pay attention here. Then I went through all of his systems for me to get ready for this show. And let me tell you, if he's telling you that I help you create shows like this, because I asked him, I said, what do you do? He said, I help people create shows like this, Alok, because it's a ton of work, man. It's all. He's not even pitching me, but I went through all of it. I'm telling you, if you're looking to create a show like this, you're going to go hire that guy, because I've been through all of his stuff, and it is the real deal, and it's legit.
Wow. Thank you, brother. Oh, man. So I said it's supposed to be about you, and I mean it, so knock it off already. No, I'm kidding. It's like this. Stop. No more.
But it's about reinforcing the power of, that's correct.
That's right.
Right. But it's about reinforcing the power of actually leading with value and creating rich, sacred human connections. Because then what did I do? I was like, how much your services? He was like $25,000 for the year. I was like, awesome. Thank you. Now I know that, because why? I've got loads of clients that might be thinking they might be at the right phase for that level of organic marketing to pop out.
See, now I'm going to tell people, see, ladies and gentlemen, he gets it. Not because he's pitching me and helping me. He's helping everybody in the same manner that he meets, the same exact manner.
That's correct.
And you help enough people, it's bound to come back in some way, shape, or form. Don't expect it. Don't ask for it. Just let it happen. And it will, guaranteed. I mean, I swear to goodness, man, I know you're younger than me. I think we're twins. We have to be. It's like uncanny.
Build sacred human connections and let the magic of the universe start unfolding, and watch what happens.
The issue I see is a lot, especially ones first starting out. I used to be one, and I fall in that same camp, is that mindset of scarcity, worrying about that next check. So then we're more apt to do stuff we are not in alignment with in our values, and we're asking for people to buy our stuff. We've all been there. We know that that's a stage to get through. Yeah. The point is the faster you can get through that stage and into this stage that we're talking about, that's when you'll see the magic begin to unfold in front of your eyes.
Yeah, here's a word. Write this down, everybody. Delete the word competition.
Oh, yeah.
There's no competition. What do you mean? Especially for the early stagers, right? Because why? There's the FOMO, and I got to pay rent, and I need to close that deal, and I don't want to lose them to so-and-so over there. Okay. This is so embarrassing. I used to not talk about my mentors because I was so afraid that somebody, rather than hiring me, would go hire the mentor.
Yep.
Right. And then I realized I got taught by a mentor. Why do you do that? And I said, well, I'll be honest. I'm a little scared about paying rent, and I don't want to brag you up, because then they might just cut past me and go to the source. And the mentor looked at me and goes, I'm not the source. Source is up there. Oh,
deep.
Oh, I was like, and they're like, stop worrying about whether someone comes and hires me instead of you. If that was true, then that means vibrationally the frequency was aligned for that person to come to me and not you. Stop worrying that there's some lack. There's no lack. Delete the word lack. Stop it. I lived there for so long, so worried, so afraid. Not enough money out there, not enough clients out there. There's more than any of us could serve. If you take all the business coaches in the world, for example, my particular, I'm more moving into the leadership space, but let's call it business coaching. You could take all the business coaches that are existing on earth, even the crappy ones that have no ground to stand on. Take all of us. We still could never coach all the entrepreneurs out there. There's not even enough of us to worry about there not being enough clients for. We're not even anywhere near the saturation point.
Yeah. And thank you for all of that. And to take it another step, even beyond that, to make it even really crystal clear to everyone. Let's say that Alok and I do the same exact thing. Alok has 5 more years of experience and does it 2.5 times better than I do. One person comes to both of us individually, one at a time. And if you don't have that scarcity mindset, if I don't, you're going to choose who you like the most, who you feel more comfortable with, who you feel more confident with, who you trust more, who you just connect with better. Alok is a phenomenal guy that everyone can trust. I can be trusted, but there will be those differentiating factors. It has nothing, well, very little to do with your abilities. It's your desire, and you're going to show them, I'll do everything I can for you no matter what, and be honest and do it with integrity. And Alok will do the same thing. And you'll just say, well, I choose. And it's not because one has that much more experience over the other, just like Alok was saying.
let's even make it more extreme. I'll reveal. Y'all. I just share everything. Okay, good, the bad, the ugly, all my failures. You can hear me, always 7-figure business owner, going to 8 figures. Got it. But I have so many bumps and bruises from along the path. You know, the insecurity, the self-doubt, the why me, who would pick me, all this stuff. And I just want to speak right into it for anyone watching. I said this to a mentor, right? I stood up because I invested in myself. I want you all to hear this. I currently pay my coach $10,000 a session, y'all. Okay, so I invest heavily into my expansion, my growth, because I know it's the fastest way to shift your circumstance. And I'm a high achiever. I value time over money. I want you all to hear this. There's a big difference. You want to walk away from this. If you walk away with nothing else, value time over money rather than money over time. Back in my old days, I valued money over time, meaning I would do things a slow, dumb way where I would try to figure it out on my own and work really hard. Okay. I would outwork everybody. There was nobody that outworked me. Okay. And it's the dumbest and slowest way I could possibly do anything. And it was absolutely the path to failure. Okay. I thought I was doing the smart things. I was saving money and just working hard. Okay. Now, successful people value time over money. They hate wasting time because they know that money is an endless resource that you can always get more of. Time is a finite resource that you can never get back. So successful people go, what's the fastest way I can understand whatever it is I need so that I can get the result that I want? Unsuccessful people go, what's the slowest way I could do this? That's the cheapest way that I perceive as cheap. And then they under-earn the whole way. And by the way, that used to be me. Don't do that.
Card-carrying member, former.
That's right. Don't do that. So I stood up and I said to this mentor in front of 100 other people in the mastermind. And I literally said, the thing I'm hung up on is that, yes, I'm getting all these clients. My one-on-one roster was full. I think at the time, where was I? I was doing about 200 grand a year, 200, 250, somewhere in there. Okay. So I was already in a different league than the vast majority of my peers. But I knew I was not even scratching the surface, number one. And number two, I had all this imposter syndrome going on. Okay. And for anyone out there, if you're an entrepreneur and you've had imposter syndrome, pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. I raised my hand and I was shaking. I was quaking. I was at the mic and I was just like, I can't even believe I'm about to say this in front of all these people who know that I'm decently successful at what I do here. And I'm about to out myself, completely out myself. I stood at that mic in front of 100 people. We were down in Guatemala. We were kind of in a converted church. And I said the following. I said, I don't understand why would someone hire me when they could go hire Tony Robbins, they could hire Brendan Burchard. I started listing all these heavy hitters. And then I shut my mouth. And my mentor at the time looked at me and goes, because it's you. Mm-hmm. I'm like, is that it? Really? What? That's it? No, but he then went on and he illuminated. He said, it's because of the sound of your voice, your laughter, your life's story, the unique journey that only you have had. And what I realized was that many people picked me because unlike a lot of the big heavy hitters, the big names, the Grant Cardones, any of them, I've actually put 20 years into building social impact companies that were specifically dedicated to the upliftment of humanity. Now, I'm not saying that's a better or worse thing. I'm not comparing. I'm not saying that that's somehow better than somebody else's run. What I'm saying, what my mentor helped me see in that moment was it made my journey unique to me. And then many people who would watch my TEDx talk about feeding 500,000 meals to people in need, it just made me different, not better, different. And it allows people to go, you know what? That guy's built a clean energy company that converted garbage into electricity and fuel. He built a global media platform to uplift women and body image. He built a sustainable clothing company that fed 500,000 meals to people in need. And now he runs Uplift Millions, which is a coaching and consulting company that helps entrepreneurs who value people, planet, and profit scale 6 to 8 figure companies. Okay, that's the guy I'm going to go with. Right? So don't worry about comparing yourself to the big names. Be you. Be all of you and let it rip. Let the world see the fullness of who you are. That'll help them decide, am I going to go with the other person who offers the same services, or am I going to go with you?
He said it. Let it rip. So we're going to.
Let it rip.
Oh! Yes. I haven't had these many bombing runs in a long time, and I am not kidding. This is phenomenal.
I love them.
Yeah, and I want to now segue into that. You mentioned your current venture, Uplift Millions, and I'm deeply curious myself, and I was hoping that you would be open to describing what it is you do and the kind of people you serve. Is it business owners, entrepreneurs? Is it moms? Is it families? Is it corporations? All the above, some of the above. And then I would love to hear a success story that really sticks out in your mind, that really pulls at your heart and emotion strings for the group. Would you be okay with doing that?
Yeah, I'd be pleased to do it. It's so funny, Brian. I have friends from high school and college and grade school and stuff. And, they follow me on Facebook, and I literally will have them say, they're like, I don't know what the heck you do with people, but I get the sense that when they hire you, they make more money. Is that right? I'm like, that's it. That's pretty much, that's kind of like all you need to know, and they're like, I'm pretty sure they're kind of good-hearted people that I want to do good in the world. You help them make more money. Is that right? I'm like, that's pretty much it. Just but all jokes aside, people come to Uplift Millions. They typically are impact-driven entrepreneurs, heart-led entrepreneurs. They want to make a lot of money, and they want to be successful, and they want the big fancy house, and maybe they want the Corvette and all that stuff. But they also want to make an impact. They know that they're here with a bigger mission. They stand for something bigger than themselves. So our people typically are results-driven leaders and entrepreneurs who are dedicating their life to making a positive impact in the world, and they want to use business as their vehicle for doing that. So they come up with Millions because they know that about themselves. They know that they're an expert at what they do. That's a critical piece. Honestly, if you suck at what you do, I ain't going to be able to help you move the needle. Okay. I need to know that you're excellent. Brian mentioned earlier, 10,000 hours to improve and gain mastery. Maybe you're not quite at 10,000 hours deep. Okay. Maybe you're at 2,000 hours, 3,000 hours, but you are highly committed. You are highly committed to what you do and who you are in the world. And you stand for that bigger mission. As long as I hear three components, I need to know that they are an entrepreneur or leader who is, number one, extraordinary at what they do, committed, deeply committed. Most entrepreneurs, by the way, talk a big game, but they really just don't want a job. And honestly, most of them should just go get a job because they don't treat being an entrepreneur like a full-time actual commitment. So you have to be extraordinary at what you do. You have to be completely committed to your mission and vision and being willing to do the work. And then the third one is another C word. Most people would think I'm about to say confident. I actually don't even need confidence. What I need is courage. I am looking for absolutely courageous entrepreneurs and leaders because confidence is a result. Courage is a decision. Confidence is a result. Courage is a decision. If you weren't paying attention, rewatch this video. So we work with those people, and then they come to us, and here are the range of problems that we start reducing. Okay. Usually they've got a leadership problem. Okay. They haven't really stepped into the fullness of their leadership identity, who they're going to be evolving into. Okay. So I accelerate the timeline between who you currently are and the version of you who will get to multiple 6 figures or 7 figures or 8 figures or whatever your number is. Okay. Number two, from there, we're probably going to work on your marketing issues. And again, we don't do paid advertising. We don't do paid Facebook ads. I'm not against it. I'm just saying that's not our skill set. Okay. But organic, what Brian's talking about, with all sorts of different ways you can grow organically without paid advertising, that is our wheelhouse. Number three, we're going to fix your sales problems. Woo, man, people just struggle to price their services and products appropriately, package them up, and be able to actually sell and close. That means you got ink on the contract and you got money across the table and into the bank account. From there, operations and delivery would be the final pieces that people come to us for. Brand optimization, bunch of other parts. But basically, short answer is, if you are those first three characteristics, I'll help to move the needle so that you can make more money and then make more impact in the world.
And then no matter what the price point investment is, don't think about that. Think about what is the result going to bring back?
Yeah, I mean, I can give you a couple clients, right? You got your big heavy hitters. One of my clients, Sanika, ended up doing 75,000 on January 1st in a day. We just had clients that did 24,000 in 24 hours, which sounds crazy. And I don't mean those time frames as like some out of the box thing. They had to do a bunch of legwork to get the result, right? Let's not kid anybody. You hear these things, oh my God, in 12 hours, right? But it's because of all the legwork that they put in, right? But the story that I'd really like to tell you is actually not one of the big, huge whoppers. Not like Brian Haynes, who did 330,000 in 8 weeks. All those are the big ones. And you can go to my testimonials page, upliftmillions.com/testimonials. You want to see the big, juicy ones. I'm going to tell you one that's not on there. Okay. It's a woman in Canada. Her hands are weathered. Okay. Her name's Kitty. Incredible human. One of the most amazing humans I know. She's autistic and she cleaned houses, which is why her fingers are like this. Okay. Weathered hands. These are the hands of a woman who knows work. She had been through many other programs. And because of her autism, many other programs took her for a ride because she said yes very easily. Okay. I want you all to hear this because this is one of the stories that made me cry when I got the message, private message. And nobody's going to see this big, huge result because it's not going to blow anybody else away except me. She came to my program. I was honest with her. I was real with her. I knew her. I understood her autism to the very best of my ability. I had honest conversations about what I needed from her so that she wasn't just spending money on another program. Okay. And I said to her, look, this is what's going to look like, Kitty. I said, we're going to play full out. And when I got a message from her, and by the way, I want you to hear this, everybody. This wasn't when she was during my program. This wasn't when she was my client. Why? Because I don't give up on people afterwards. I want to hear from them for years. Boom. A message comes in, Brian, and she says, she drops me a Voxer message, a voice memo. And she says, Alok, I just need you to know, I landed my first $2,997 client. Not only that, they are paying full. She takes care of her 85-year-old father. And when I got that message, Brian, I teared up. Because this is a woman, autistic woman, who's worked her ass off with physical manual labor for years to the point that her hands are like this. And here she is. She's doing decluttering, both now physical and mental, brain decluttering. That's how she's had to do autism and cleaning houses. It's brilliant. She said, and they paid in full. And I'll tell you, Source moved through me. I said, Source literally whispered in my ear, said, you changed that woman's life. You changed the trajectory of their life. So yes, everybody, I could tell you the big flashy stories. Lots of people have gotten big, huge results in my orbit. Okay, great. But it's that story of Kitty McKay having her first $2,997 pay in full and getting to feel all that money. When I want you all to imagine how much you think she got paid cleaning houses in her life.
Yeah.
Think about how many hours she worked hands to the bone to get $2,997 flowing into her accounts. That is a story I wanted to share with all your people. It may not seem flashy, but it is life-changing.
It is the most impactful. And I just want everyone watching and listening to understand this deeply, that he just gave you the roadmap to success right there.
Bingo.
Alok gave you the absolute roadmap to success. It's
Bingo.
not once did he say, and I made 50 grand off of her or whatever she paid him. His joy, you could see it, you could feel it. This is what drives successful businessmen and women. And that is, he evoked it just there. His emotion is getting that emotion.
My former client, Tavia Sharp, she went to 2 rounds. She did her level 1. She did her level 2. She did well. Okay. Solid. But what touched me about what was the date? 4 or 5 months later, I get a message. She says, Alok, I've stepped into my CEO identity. I now have a team of 3. We've just had our first back-to-back 35K months. Thank you so much for everything. And literally, even right now, it gives me the full chills. Because
Yes.
she's on just literally, she's stepping into her power. And I know that her trajectory is different for the rest of her life.
So if you're in business to help people to elevate their life, and that's your MO, then you can achieve the level of success and beyond that Alok is at right now. It's that simple.
Commit to mastery. Commit to mastery. You know, Brian opened with the bookmark section. I'm sorry that I don't remember the exact the name of the bookmark section, but I brought this one. I brought this one to show all y'all. This is not my book. Happy Pocket Full of Money. You want a writer downer? Write this one down. I don't even want to make the focus go out. Happy Pocket Full of Money. This guy, I send this to all of our clients. You want a gem, and don't quit because it's a little woo-woo at the beginning. Read the whole thing. This book will rock your mind about money, quantum fields, energy, space-time continuum, stuff that you might even not even believe. I don't care if you don't believe it. Just read it and allow it into your consciousness. Now, why do I say that? Because I've read a statistic. Highly successful people read 60 books a year.
Yeah.
I don't hit that mark yet, okay? But they are readers. They are learners. I tell people all the time, they go, what's your secret sauce? I go, I out-train everybody I know. I learn. I'm a nonstop. I say to my son, I said, son, I don't care about anything except that you keep learning. That's all I care. And I said, daddy's a learner. Caitlin's a learner. Your mom's a learner. Her husband's a learner. We are learners in our family.
And
Secret
I would
to success. Learn.
And I would venture to guess that you are also doers, because no
And
results
that-
come.
5 languages. Everybody write this down. Sorry, 4 languages, and they're all tied together. Thinking, writing, speaking, doing. Thinking, writing, speaking, doing. These are the same language. And
Love
notice,
it.
everybody, I included doing, speaking, thinking, speaking, writing, doing. Thinking, speaking, writing, doing. Thinking, speaking, writing, doing. When you all who are watching this, when you shrink the gap between your thinking, writing, and speaking, those 3, and doing, and you make them all in harmony. And listen, if you all want the biggest gem, and this should definitely get a carpet bomb. Don't say anything you won't do.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Don't
know how you-
say anything that you won't do. If you say it, do it. And FYI, this is my biggest up level on myself. I am not perfect in this, but what I am committed to is reducing the percentage of what I say that I don't do.
Yes.
And now, by the way, this is not even just the big things like getting up, booking that sales call, doing that marketing post, running that big event, whatever. I'm actually talking about you bringing this all the way into the smallest part of your life. I got frustrated with myself because the other day, a client of mine named a movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's a new movie that's streaming, okay? And I had just heard of that movie from friends of mine in a text message thread. So I thought, and I said these words. I want you all to hear this. I said these words to my client. I said, great, I'll watch it tonight. I got to tonight. This was 2 nights ago. Laid on the couch. I was tired. Looked at my phone, was about to pull it. I pulled it up, and I thought, it's not really what I want to watch tonight. Now, I could have as easily said, I'm going to watch it over the next couple of weeks. But look, you hear that, everybody? I lied to myself. I said something and I didn't do it. I'm giving you guys the example so you see that I'm not saying this at you. I'm saying this as my biggest up level. You want to track people? Track the up levels that successful people challenge themselves to fail at. Track the up levels that successful people do to challenge themselves to fail at. So I caught it. You said you were going to do it. You didn't do it. Okay. Bang. Raise the bar. Raise the bar, y'all. If you say it, do it. Make there be complete congruence between the 4 elements I just listed. Thinking, speaking, have your speaking align with your thinking. If you think it, speak it. If you speak it, write it. If you write it, do it.
Yeah,
Period.
and that just defines in my mind one word called integrity. And integrity is for other people, but it's not just for other people. It's even more important that you are have integrity with yourself. And you just went through that example, because if you lie to yourself, you know it, and it shows up in your being until you write that ship.
That's correct. And I wanted to out myself for my own accountability, right? It's like, hey, that happened. Raise the bar, Alok. Raise the bar. The fastest way to raise the bar is to align your doing and your thinking. As soon as those are aligned, bang, watch what starts happening. The speed of change will actually possibly scare you and overwhelm you. It will start happening so fast that you'll need coaching on the speed of the expansion.
I love it.
You started with coaching because you were stuck as shit in a gutter somewhere. And then when you start doing this stuff, you will need coaching to handle the speed of the expansion.
Yeah, a lot of people think they hit a certain level, they're done, they don't have to do anything else. It's no, you get the next coach that can take you to the next level.
That's correct. You get the next coach to handle the next set of problems you're going to experience.
I mean, come on. Look, if you hit the top and there was no more coaches to help you go any farther, I would be bored as heck. I would think, is this life? No, life should forever be a climbing experience, a learning experience, an expanding. And that's, I think, what drives entrepreneurs is that there is no ceiling. We just keep going. And we don't.
And you want to know the ceiling on this? You want to know the secret sauce that I just learned in the last year on this that I wish someone had said to me about 20 years ago?
Yes, please.
Because I was always like, how to say it? In terms of being a results-driven leader, that's my identity. That's who I surround myself with. That's who our clients are. If you're not a results-driven leader, like, don't even bother in my world. I'm not judging you. Go hire somebody else. Go let someone else take your money. But you shouldn't be giving anybody your money, by the way, if you're not a results-driven leader. I'm just saying, okay? But for me, it was always on the metrics, right? The six-figure, the multiple six-figure, the seven-figure, the this, the 100K months, the 200K months, the 300K months, whatever, right? Being. When you recognize that the growth in your beingness never ends, that is the real journey. So whether that's me expanding who I'm being as the CEO and the leader of my company, whether it's who I'm being as a father to Sequoia, who I'm being in my relationship to Caitlin, which, by the way, major work to do there, right? Improving. Love my lady to death. Got a lot of work to do. Wasn't quite modeled how to be a man, right? So growth in your beingness. And when you realize that never ends, commit to evolving who you're being in the world and watch what happens.
Inspiring. And I'm looking at the clock. We went over our hour. So we're going to go another hour for everyone watching. I'm kidding. We could easily. I could go easy. Oh, man, without even any effort whatsoever. This is effortless. I love what I get to do, Alok, and you're the big reason why. Thank you for all of this. I want to go at another couple hours. But it totally is. I'm the most blessed person on the planet. I love this. So I did promise before everyone drops off that I would give them a way to win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. And I also heard a little bird told me that this some certain person might have something for you as well. So we're going to do both of those right now. And then I close every show out with one bomb of a question. And you're going to love it, Alok. And it's very profound. It's very unique. And I cannot wait. But before we do that, here we go. For those of you watching, write this down. Remember to write it. We will pick a winner after the show. You can enter after the show is over. Don't sweat it. You have time. I'm going to put it up on the screen for those of you watching live. All you need to do is go to this web address. Write this down. RYP. That stands for Reach Your Peak, which is my company. RYP.im/vacation. And guest experts are allowed to enter, and I've had them win. This is pretty phenomenal. I don't play those games. So RYP.im/vacation. Be sure to enter that. It is a bona fide vacation. You are not going to be taken into a basement, water drip tortured, and given a timeshare preach about anything. It is as if you are an actual full paying customer. And the reason I know that is our very sponsor has been on those trips 3 times separately. And every time he said, I'll just treat you like another vacationer, which was incredibly well. And then the little birdie that told me that there was something maybe, and I'll let Alok take it away on this one. I'll put it up on the screen and maybe give a description of how people can go after that.
Yeah, awesome. We've got 156 trainings, about 12 hours that I've done over the years, and we put them into a CEO training vault. So if y'all are, please don't do it if you're like not actually serious about committing to I would really request a heart-led business, right? You actually, care about people, but go to we.upliftmillions.com, we.upliftmillions.com. You'll just have to answer 4 questions that just let us know that you're actually a real person and not just some, spammer who wants to come in and, annihilate our community. But it's a whole community and training platform in there for, mission-led entrepreneurs who want to make the world a better place. So you can go get 156 trainings free. We will eventually, everybody, let you know, it'll eventually be a $97 a month thing. So just go there and go watch all of it. It's the free vault. So we.upliftmillions.com for anyone out there can go get free access to all of it.
So is it we, W-E?
Yep. Just we.upliftmillions.com.
So you see on the screen, upliftmillions.com, put we dot in front of that.
That's right. Just we.upliftmillions.com. And you'll once you're in, go to the CEO training vault in the courses, and you'll just see across leadership, sales, marketing, closing deals. There's just it's a ton of like legit gems. It's not shallow junk in there.
What, maybe things that actually work in real life?
Yeah, maybe things that I actually do.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I want to tell people that putting together any training course, that is a work of passion. It takes some serious effort to put together a good comprehensive training course. So thank you. My gosh, to give that for free is unbelievable. And yes, everyone, please treat it with the utmost of respect. Act as though you paid 10 grand for it.
That's correct.
Put some value behind it, because a lot of, how many times I've been given things that someone from stage is selling for $597. Oh, you're my friend. Here's a course of 50 CDs. And I'd bring it home and I'm excited. And because I didn't pay a dime, you guess how many times I opened that case and listened to those CDs?
That's right. 0.
Don't be that. Don't be a zero like I was. Don't be a zero like I was. Take what he's got, give it some value, and go deep and treat it as though you spent a lot of money. And if you don't succeed at this, you just lost that money. You got to show some pain involved. So go get them. So we have that one. Thank you. We have that one final amazing question.
I'm excited.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, and the cool thing about this question, Alok, is that there is no such thing as a wrong answer. Ooh. In fact, the exact opposite is the case. The only correct answer is yours.
Okay.
Because it's going to be unique to you. And some will have the answer like that.
Okay.
Some get the answer after a few seconds, maybe even a minute or two. Even that is perfect because it's your answer. Okay. So there's no way to fail, flub. And now with all that, it makes people more nervous than if I had not said a thing.
Might have a little Hershey squirt in my pants here.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We should try to have fun on this show. Just once or
seriously,
twice.
Man, you got to loosen up a little bit. Okay, little tightly wound there.
It's all good. Whoa, I hope I didn't hit that. Yeah, good. I got my finger on a button. So here we go. Alok.
Yeah.
Appadurai.
You got it.
How do you define success?
Oh, man. Very simple. For me, success is being able to look your 90-year-old self in the face and know that you played full out and that you made that version of you proud. And that by the time you get into that zone, you know that you can look them in the face and they'll say to you, you have no regrets. You have no regrets. and you lived into your highest and fullest expression, and you don't look at that 80-year-old, 90-year-old version of yourself and realize there's tremendous disappointment. You know, this came out for me when I was 19 years old. I was driving in North India, and I had a spiritual experience where it was a near-death experience, and one of these crazy drives in India. If you're imagining a crazy drive in India, that's probably what it was. Okay. And my 80-year-old self sat next to me. I was on the investment banking track. I was on track to just go make a ton of money and extract as much money out of economies as I possibly could, all for my benefit. My 80-year-old self looked at me and said 3 questions. Who'd you spend your time with? Did it matter? And what'd you do with your life? Right. And in that moment, literally looking at my ethereal future self, I was like, oh my God, I will regret this entire path. So for any of you listening, success to me is being able to know that you lived in alignment with your soul's true mission, and that you played full out to the best of your ability, and that you got no regrets.
And you know how we end this out, don't you? Yeah. Oh my goodness, Alok, you are an amazing, amazing man. I appreciate you. You're like my brother by another mother. And truly, I mean that. I mean, it's like amazing. We gotta connect at some point. You're not too far away from me, being in Tucson. And appreciate you. Your family is blessed. And anyone who comes in contact with you is blessed, because you put everything you have into what you have because you want the best for them, whether they're part of your family or not. You already eloquently discussed that. Thank you, my brother. I so appreciate you for coming on.
It's so good, my man. I mean, I was thinking we could meet up, and there's this place I've been wanting to go called Lancaster, California.
Not for the location, but yeah, if you want to come out and say hi, oh, come on, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready. Bring the fam. Let's have a good time.
That's it, man. I heard it's a vacation destination.
Oh yeah, baby, it's paradise. You got it.
Paradise.
All right. On behalf of the amazing,
it's been a real honor.
Yeah, it's all mine, brother. Thank you so much. On behalf of the amazing Alok, I am your host, Brian Kelly of the Mind Body Business Show. And until next time, please go out, serve people, crush it, and above all, be blessed. So long, everybody.
Lots of love.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Business Show podcast at www.themindbodybusinessshow.com. My name is Brian Kelly.